Mr. Ron Raack.
Morning, Commissioners. Ron Raack, 10580 Southeast 131st Place, Ocklawaha. First of all, for the creative beginnings, this is a no-brainer. Why isn't that considered a school, and put a school zone sign up there and make it 20 miles an hour during drop-off and pickup? Fixes the problem in a great way. All of these private schools, they all have school zones in front of them. The churches and everything else that have schools, they have school zones. Why doesn't that have a school zone sign? That would greatly fix that problem. And that was just off the top of my head. Mr. Chairman, at the last meeting, we witnessed a great tragedy and injustice to the American people, our Constitution, and law enforcement. It was a tragedy and injustice to the people of Marion County. You were given a quo warranto which should have immediately stopped the proceedings, and you all should have been taken into custody for being accused of committing a felonious crime.
Why didn't you take
because
me into custody?
you were accused of committing a Class 3 felony.
Okay.
Wait a minute, though, but I don't remember anybody serving us with a
Yeah, I don't remember anybody coming to arrest us.
I
You
don't
know what? He
remember anybody
refused.
serving
He
us
refused
with
to
a
arrest you,
Oh, okay. Well, so no one came to arrest us.
and that is the tragedy. Because if any of us had been accused, even accused, of committing a felony, we would have been taken into custody immediately, and an investigation would have begun. That didn't happen with you guys.
Mr. Raack, Mr. Chair, do you
Sure.
mind giving
Go
me the
ahead.
liberty to do this? We have our law enforcement officer in the back of the room, and because I'm just not really sure about this, Chip, can you come forward and answer a question for me, please? So just, if you don't mind, because I'm not a law enforcement officer, and so I'm not quite sure how this works. I think I do, but I'm not quite sure. If I accuse Mr. Elsperman of a felony, are you going to arrest him?
Not necessarily. There'd be a number of factors, including public safety, safety to the victim, so on and so forth. Mr. Raack approached me, and I told him he needed to go to the state attorney's office if he felt a felony had been committed.
That's correct.
And was
I don't know if
there,
he's ever approached the state.
was there a warrant anywhere?
Never received any sort of paperwork, never received a warrant.
The warrant was called a people's warrant, and that is a valid warrant. It's quo warranto. It's written right at the top of it, and that is a valid warrant. And in the Latin, basically, it means that you need to prove your authority. That's what it means in the Latin, where it came from, is you need to prove your authority. And the reason for that is the fact that you refuse to follow the very law that the Florida Constitution supplies to provide the bond. And you guys sit up there and laugh. You think this is a joke.
Mr. Raack,
I'm
I'm
just trying to
to
figure out what you're
understand.
talking about.
Mr. Chair, just one more. I'm just trying to understand your thought process and your,
My thought
form of
process
law.
is very, very simple.
And so,
Florida
Mr.
Constitution says
Mr.
you're
Raack?
required to hold a bond, and because you don't like the rules of the game, you guys decided to change the rules on your own accord
Okay.
and
but
come up with your own ordinance that, and you do it with the Constitution, you do it with everything.
Mr. Raack, now we're on to a different subject. What I'm trying to find out is, were you ever presented with a warrant?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. That was all I was just trying to get to. Thank you.
And Mr. Rapp, by the way, I don't even know how the state constitution is valid under your assumption that no law is ever allowed to be made outside of the federal government.
Because
from
that
the last
law,
time.
because that law doesn't apply to the people, it applies to you. That does not apply to the people.
So we pick and choose where it applies?
Absolutely. Because the laws, well, even the Congress does it. The Congress passes laws that only deals with the Congress and not the people. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the way it was written. You guys should study the documents that were written, which you failed to do. And the proof of that is, you know what, your attorney said that we misinterpret Article 6 of the Constitution, the Supremacy Clause. What does the word supreme mean? What does it mean? What's the definition? If it doesn't mean that there's not anything above that law, then what else could it possibly mean? Article 1, Section 5 of the Constitution says this: right to assemble. the people shall have the right to peaceably assemble and to instruct their representatives. We have the right to instruct you. You don't tell us what to do. We tell you what to do. And if you don't like that law, then get out of the position that you're in. And with that, I'll bid you good day.
Thanks, Mr. Raack. Have a great day, sir. All right, who's up next here?